Morning students. Today we are going to continue the Unit 9 Coordination Compounds. In the last class we have discussed the Werner theory of coordination compound to explain the bonding in the complexes. Now today we are going to discuss about the VBT valence bond theory, which is one more theory to explain the bonding in the coordination compound. Now students, what does VBT considers? It considers that when the ligand approaches the central metal ion, right, it is going to get the vacant orbitals available for the incoming ligands so that it undergoes the hybridization, right? So the first postulate of VBT is that the central metal ion gets the orbitals, vacant orbitals available for the incoming ligands. Now, these vacant orbitals which are made available are responsible for the coordination number of the complexes. That is, if the vacant orbital which is made available is 4, in that case, right, the coordination number of the complex is going to be 4. Right, now just we are going to go through the postulates of the BBT. First is that the central metal ion makes available the vacant orbitals for the ligands. Now, depending upon the vacant orbitals available, the central metal ion has its coordination number. If it makes available the 6 vacant orbitals, the coordination number of this complex of the metal ion will be 6 in that case. If it makes available 4 vacant orbitals, in that case it will be having the coordination number to be 4. And if it is 5 vacant orbital, it will have the coordination number 5. Now, second is the orbitals which are made available or which are vacant, they will undergo the hybridization. Right, now the vacant orbitals available, now the orbitals which will be available among these, the orbitals s, p and d will undergo the hybridization to form hybrid orbitals of equivalent energy and shape. To form hybrid orbitals of equivalent energy and shape. Now students, we have gone through the hybridization topic in class 11th also, and you know that they are the atomic orbitals of comparable energy. They just intermixes with one another to form a new set of orbitals, which are called as the habit orbitals, which will be equally numbered to that of the intermixing atomic orbitals, and the energies and the shape of the habit orbitals which will be formed will be same. Right. So here also the VBT, the coordination compound, the central metal ion undergoes the hybridization to form the hybrid orbitals of equivalent energy and shape. Now students, when we say the equivalent shape, in that case, if the number of the orbitals is 6, then the hybridization which will be formed will be sp3 d2 or d2 sp3. In that case, we will have the shape which is the octahedral, right? So we will just, if the if we start with sp3, if the hybridization which has been uh, resulted is sp3, that time we will have the tetrahedral shape, right? And if it is dsp2, that time it will have square planar shape, right? If it is sp3d hybridization, it will be pentagonal bipyramidal. So here trigonal, sorry, here it will be trigonal bipyramidal shape. If it is students sp3d, it will be trigonal bipyramidal. And students, if it is d2sp3 or it is sp3d2, in both cases, since here the number of the coordination number is 6, so here the shape is going to be octahedral, right? So when the hybridization is sp3, in that case we have tetrahedral shape. If it is dsp2, we will have square planar, and if it is sp3d, we will have trigonal bipyramidal shape, and if it is d2sp3 or sp3d2, we will have octahedral shape. Now students, the third postulates of VBT is that depending upon the depending upon whether the d orbital is n minus 1d or it is nd subshell, right? It will be known as the inner orbital complex or the outer orbital complex. Right now, depending upon the d orbital involved in hybridization, the complex is either inner orbital complex or it will be outer orbital complex. Right students, so if the d subshell, which will be involved, or we can say here that the orbital which is getting involved, the d orbital which is involved belongs to the inner shell. For example, if n here is 4, right, let us take s subshell. If it is 4s and 4p, now if the d orbital which is being getting involved belongs to the d uh, subshell, right, which is the one lower to the S subshell, right? So that is here, it is n minus 1, that is equal to 3. So just I'm correcting here, it's better to write here orbital n minus 1 d orbital. So here, if this is getting involved, that means we are having the 3D orbital, right? In that case, it will be inner orbital complex, and if it is 4D, 4S, and 4P, it will be outer, it will be forming outer orbital complex, right? Now, the next postulate is that each ligand, right, has an orbital which will have an at least one electron pair or one lone pair in it, right? Ligand has an atomic orbital in right here. Each ligand has an atomic orbital with at least one lone pair, right? So when a ligand will be coming to the central metal ion, the ligand will be bearing the atomic orbitals which will be having at least one lone pair. More than one lone pair is possible, but it should have at least one lone pair. Now the fifth is there a coordinate bond. A covalent bond is formed between the between the empty hybrid orbital of metal ion, central metal ion, and here the and the ligand atomic orbitals bearing the lone pair, right? Orbital of central metal ion and ligand atomic orbital containing lone pair, right? So a coordinate bond will be formed, or we can say a coordinate covalent bond is formed between the empty hybrid orbital of the central metal ion, right, and orbitals, okay, orbitals of the central metal ion and the ligand's atomic orbital containing the lone pair, right? So this is the activity, right, which helps to explain the bonding in the coordination compound, that the central metal ion will get the orbitals available for bonding with the ligands, right? And these orbitals will be empty orbitals, and these orbitals decides the coordination number of the central metal ion. Then the empty orbitals are going to intermix with one another, will undergo the hybridization to form a set of hybrid orbitals having a definite geometry, right? Now these hybrid orbitals then can be, depending upon the d orbitals which have been involved, whether they are of n subshell or they are of n minus 1 subshell, right? That is, if it is nd or n minus d, they are known as outer orbital and the inner orbital complex respectively, and the Hybrid orbitals are then going to overlap with the atomic orbitals of the ligands bearing at least one lone pair, and they will form a coordinate bond or coordinate covalent bond will be formed. Right now, students, we in the next we are going to discuss the structure, the geometry shown, the type of magnetism which is shown by these compounds through examples.